And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Quivz here. Quivz does stuff. YouTube's a bit laggy behind there. Back into Space Engineers, answering the time-old question, the one that is Googled the most. How do you find ore on planets? Sorry for the slow start. I was about to start and then I realized, damn, I forgot to feed the dog. So I had to go back and feed the dog. I will edit that out of the beginning of the video when this becomes a video. Otherwise, if you're watching live, welcome, welcome. Yes, let's jump straight into it, because like I said, that is an oft-asked question. How do you find ore on planets? It isn't, you know, immediately obvious, but once you've done it once, it becomes easier and easier. So permit me to immediately demonstrate, because people are going to Google this, find this video, and I want them to be able to see it straight away. So, yeah. Yeah, basically as soon as we load in. So it is daylight, which is good. Right. So I'm going to find some... Oh, why my inventory is really full. So let's first empty my inventory, because I definitely don't need all of that. So we'll just drop things in the assembler for now. The stone can sit in... actually, the stone might as well be in here, because at least here we'll get some ingots out of it. Alright. Empty inventory. I have my drill ready, and we're going to look for some ore. So, immediately fly up. Now there are those rocks. Now those rocks will contain ore, but not much. So what you want to do is you actually want to get some altitude, and then sort of look at the terrain. It's actually really hard with the current, the angle of the sun. And what you're looking for, if I can find some, are little splotches on the terrain. It's really hard with the angle of the sun at the moment. Is that it? That kind of looks like the right kind of splotches, but I'm not sure. I could go down there and check. Let's go down there and check. I think not. I think that's just the angle of the sun that's making it look splotchy. Good splotchy, Mr. Splotchy. No, yeah, that was the angle of the sun. Okay. But the idea is you just want to get some altitude. So use your jetpack, get up high. There's some. Okay, I'm going to fly over the top of them so you can see. So you see how there's sort of a mottled patch here, where there's little black spots on the green? That's what you're looking for. It's these weird splotchy patterns on the ground that don't look random. I mean, they are randomly placed, but they don't look like just the regular texture changing. And then what you want to do is fly down to them, and once you get close with your drill out, it'll tell you what you found. If it doesn't immediately tell you, then what you can actually do... Oh no, there it is. What was it? It's disappeared now. Come on, give it to me. Try heading more towards the middle of it. It's iron. So there we are. My dog has just walked in to say hello. Hello, Pepper. Yeah, so that's iron. So one of the things you want to do as soon as you found one, make a GPS coordinate immediately. Go to the GPS tab, hit new from current position, and change the name of it to the kind of resource. And I also like to then change the color to sort of an appropriate color for the resource. Now, to get at it, pretty easy. Right click with the drill to drill a tunnel, not a... There we go. Not trying to drill resources, I'm trying to drill a tunnel. Go diagonally down into the resource. And you'll see that number will slowly get closer and closer. I might need to turn around. I might have dug at a funny angle and I might actually miss and need to get down and then turn around and sort of turn a corner and head back towards it. But getting underground is the first thing you have to do. So do that first and then worry about directionality afterwards. Bit hard to see, but the number is getting smaller, so we are heading in the right direction. just want to make sure I'm actually drilling in the right direction too. Here we go. Right, that number is starting to get bigger, not smaller. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to turn. Go this way. Excuse me. And now it's moved. So over there is now the closest iron. So now I'm just going to dig straight at that iron. See, so there'll be little pockets of it all over down here. And what you want to do is sort of head towards it. Now remember, right-clicking, not left-clicking, because you're making a tunnel. You're not trying to dig rock here. You're trying to make a tunnel to where the actual ore that you're after is. If it moves, move with it a little bit, and there we are. That is now a pocket of iron ore. And that's it. That's how you find ore on a planet. You fly up high, you look for the splotches of strange colour on the terrain. Now, depending on the terrain you're on, you'll get different coloured splotches. So, for example, on this grass, it was black. On other things like snow, it's just ever so slightly yellow, and I mean ever so slightly. So, like, you know how if you're looking at milk is almost white but isn't white? It's ever so slightly yellow. It's like that amount of yellow on white snow. It's kind of hard to see on snow, especially in the dark, but during daylight it kind of sticks out pretty well. But yeah,
inventory full.
Again, fly up high, have a look at the terrain. Sometimes you will be fooled by shadows, especially if they're like creases in the ground. You often get around some mountainous areas. But look for the splotches, find the splotches, and when you find the splotches, head down there. Make yourself a GPS coordinate so you always know where it is and you can always come back. And then fill your inventory.
Inventory full.
Is what you want to do. You want an inventory full of ore. Probably got the tiniest bit of rock on me there, but that's alright, we'll hang on to that. Now home is over there, about 1.5 kilometers. So let's fly up high and see if I can spot another one on the way home. It almost looks like there's one right here. I think this is one right here in these trees. So this one hidden by trees, what is it? Silicon. So we'll mark that. We won't dig down at the moment because there's no point. New from current position. Name it silicon so I know what it is and where it is. And silicon, I'm just going to change the saturation to really low, which will make it white. And that will be a silicon GPS coordinate. Let's fly up again. Now we're almost home, so the chance of me finding another one immediately is pretty low, but well, look, you never know. There, that's splotchy. What's that over there? I don't think that's the right splotchy. That's the wrong splotchy. But that is the right splotchy. So what's this over here? Magnesium and nickel. So a lot of the time you will get two. So mark 2. So GPS, new from current position, magnesium, comma, nickel. Now, nickel is, I think, a yellowish color, and magnesium is kind of a bluish color. I'm just going to make this, let's say that blue. Let's increase the value of the saturation so it's more visible on the against other things. Not really the appropriate color, but that doesn't really matter. What it's about is that is where I can find magnesium and nickel, because within this vicinity there is magnesium and nickel. Now this looks like it's an entirely separate bunch of splotches, so I might walk over to this and just see if it's something else. It appears to be silicon. If it is, I'm not going to bother marking it. There's not really much point. No, it's still magnesium and nickel, so I think that was just a different silicon. Magnesium, silicon. No, there's silicon here as well. So, yeah, I'm getting further away from it. I'm getting closer to it by heading this way. And then further away from it. So yeah, in these hills, there is a bunch of silicon. But I won't worry about that. I've already got a silicon and it's closer to home than this one is. So let's fly up. We'll make a bit of a ring around. We'll have a quick look over in this direction. See if I can spot any splotches. There's one. So you can just see from here where the splotches go onto the yellow. They're white. So on the white, you're going to be looking for those. On the yellow, you're going to be looking for those white splotches, and that is the equivalent of the same thing. It's splotches on the ground that are differently colored to the basic terrain. This is ice and silicon. Well, the ice is definitely going to be good, but I'll mark them both. So ice and no, don't need the and. Ice, silicon. And let's make that the light blue and go with a really high saturation. And that'll do, because by now I'm probably getting low on hydrogen, so it's time to head home. Maybe there'll be some splotches on the way, I don't know. Probably not, I'd be surprised. No, I didn't really see any more. But I've got a full inventory of iron. I know where to find iron. I know where to find silicon. I know where to find ice. I know where to find magnesium and nickel. And that we can now dump into our basic refinery. And that'll be nicely processed into pure iron ingots. You can put the stone in here and get some other ingots there as well. Beautiful. We were entirely out of hydrogen, so that was good timing. We can refill here. Might almost be time to go get some more ice as well. And luckily we know where that is. It's over there. So, for those of you who just dropped in to see how do you find ores on planets, that's how you find it on the grassy lands. I could perhaps go looking on some other terrain types, but I'm probably not going to right now. And for those of you who are just here for the series, let us proceed. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to start moving towards a full-size refinery and a full-size assembler. So what I'm going to need is, let's grab all of those for now. We'll finish off this light armor block. Right. So before I do that, the next thing I actually want, is I'm going to actually want my first cargo container, something that can hold everything. It's easiest to find in the progression tab, where it looks like, if I can find it, that. Right? So these are the cargo containers. Put the multiple selection cargo container on my quick bar, and you can scroll and see that at the moment I've unlocked the large and the small. There is a medium one, but the medium one is only for small ships. I'm going to try and make it upright just because I can. And I need interior plates. I don't have any interior plates at the moment, but I can definitely produce some because I've got a lot of iron ore. So let's make 50 interior plates for now. Grab a few of those so I can initially place it. Now, I can still reach the basic refinery through the construction of this cargo container. But when this cargo container is finished being constructed, it will also be able to pass things to the refinery and collect things through the thing. Put iron ingot into assembler inventory. All right, well I can do that. Yeah, Goodbot wants me to do stuff, so let's do this for Goodbot. So that's them. That's that. Okay, Goodbot doesn't count that as that. So let's take it out of my inventory and then put it into that inventory. Well done. to obtain and produce steel plates. Okay, I can do that. Let's make 10 steel plates. Just to shut Goodbud up. There we go. Excellent. Right, definitely need a lot more interior plates. Gonna need some computers, some construction components. I think some of those, some of that, some of that. Maybe one of those. Yeah, some more steel tubes. I need some metal grids. I wasn't expecting to need metal grids, but apparently we need metal grids. Probably 4 of them. That's probably all that I need. We'll see. I need more construction components and a lot more steel tubes. So more steel tubes than that, and then give me some construction components and we'll be good. And voila! Now we have a cargo container where I can dump pretty much anything. Anything will be dumpable into a cargo container. So that's ideal. And yeah, everything else can sit in either the refinery or the assembler for now. So that's perfect. That's where we want to start. So the next thing I'm going to want to do is I want to expand this, put a few more blocks out, and then I'm going to want to build a full-size industrial refinery. Well, not industrial refinery, but a full-size refinery. And we're going to need a lot of steel plates for that, so I might as well just start that off. Because I'm going to need heaps anyway. Because I think a full-size refinery takes about 1,200 plates. So, yeah, it's a lot of plates. So if you go into progression, you should now see that now that I've built the basic refinery, I've got this one, which is, you know, the one with the plus that lets you scroll. And that'll show you what the full-size refinery looks like. So you'll see it's got 4 gates. There's one there. There's one on the top in exactly the same position. Let's roll it over. I said roll it over. There you go. One on the top in exactly the same position as the one on the bottom. It's on the same side. And there's 2, one there and one there. Right, so I want this to line up. And I want it to be this way or that way? This way. So that's where I want to place it. Now, I'm going to put these blocks underneath before I go any further. Just because it's me and, you know, I have this thing about doing things a certain way in a certain order. You don't have to do this. You can absolutely sit it on a single block. It's fine. You can sit it on a block that hasn't even been constructed yet. It's fine. It'll still work. It's just that stability-wise, if anything happens to the block it's sitting on, your refinery will fall to the ground and get damaged. Right, as you can see, there's steel plates at the bottom and steel plates at the top. Total of 1,200 steel plates it needs. 40 construction components, 20 large steel tubes, 16 motors, 20 metal grids, and 20 computers. So we'll grab some of those things because we've got some of those things handy already. It doesn't need any of those or those. It needs some of those and some of those. And that should have pretty much everything but those motors. Right, I'm going to need a lot more steel plates. So let's just keep going with the steel plates because I'm going to need lots of steel plates. And now, I'm getting kind of low on energy, so I'm going to go recharge. Still using my ship here because I'm not quite ready to get rid of this yet. And then we're going to fly over to the iron, and we're going to go and mine some more iron. Now at the moment I'm limited by my inventory space. After a little while, once I've got a full-sized refinery and a full-sized assembler ready, then we will start making a vehicle, and we'll be able to bring the vehicle over here and fill up its inventory, which will be much larger and henceforth allow us to carry much more ore at a time. You will still get a fair amount of rock at first, but that will eventually stop. Come on, dig. There we go. Yeah, I'm sort of on the surface of the ore pocket, so I'm still getting some stone.
Inventory.
But as you go
full.
deeper, you'll stop getting stone and you'll just get iron ore. So keep digging into the ore pocket. And then you can start spreading out and digging, you know, sideways. And we don't need the stone, so we'll drop that off.
Inventory full.
Right, so that's a full inventory of iron. Now, you don't need to fly here. You could absolutely just save your hydrogen and walk. But it'll take a while, so I'll demonstrate how long it takes to walk 1.5 kilometers while I drink some coffee. Good coffee. But yeah, different terrain types, the splotchiness is different colors. But it sort of has the same pattern on all terrain types. And the hardest one to find that I've seen is snow and grey rock. Now in grey rock, it's just a darker rock. It's sort of a little bit brownish, but mostly it's just a bit darker. And on snow, like I said, it's just a little bit yellow. And it's so slightly yellow that it's almost impossible to see. Whereas on the grass, it's quite black, like it's a really obvious splotch to see on rock. Alright, there, we've moved half a kilometer by running. So it really is faster to fly. Just be careful when flying that you don't collide with anything, because it'll kill you. And especially this early in the game, we don't have anywhere to respawn. So we will respawn in another one of those, nowhere near this base. And yeah, that'll be painful because it'll take ages to get back. Now you can just dump this in the cargo container and it'll move itself to the refinery because the refinery knows what it's doing. I'll put the little bit of extra rock in here though. And yeah, that'll go back to churning out steel plates over here. But it's definitely going to take a lot more iron ore than that, so we'll fly back and do it again. So I'm going to have to do this a few times. So, now, when we first started in the previous episode, we sort of landed on a mountain cliffside, kind of like that one over there in the distance. And it wasn't a great place to start. Now, there's nothing actually wrong with it, you can start there. But from a tutorial point of view, it wasn't a great place to do it. Now, what I said when we landed there is that vehicle-wise, instead of building a wheeled vehicle, because of where we were, it was going to behoove us to immediately build a flying vehicle. And overnight, I've had some time to think about that decision, and I still say that would be the best, and actually, I've decided that even here on the flat, even though I could build a vehicle with wheels, I'm not going to. If I have to build any wheels, it's probably because I need it as a prerequisite on the progression chart to build something else. But what we're going to do is we're going to build something that uses atmospheric thrusters and flies around, because that way we can get up high enough to maybe spot more blotches and find more ores, as well as it's just a quicker way to get around than by driving. Driving in this game works perfectly well. It's physics based. It takes a fair bit of effort to get something that works properly and how you would expect it to work. You absolutely need to put gyroscopes on it, because without one, the vehicle's just going to go everywhere. Sometimes 2 gyroscopes is better than 1 as well, because it doubles the power of the gyroscope, like how much resistance it has to other forces. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. It's also going to be very important for your first flying vehicle. And we will be making a in-atmosphere flying vehicle. Oops. Yeah. A lot of iron ore. Now you could also go to those unknown signals. You get a little bit of resources with each one, so there's always a few weird components on them, as well as the components you get from deconstructing them, as well as your chance at getting a special item. Ooh. See there, I turned my thing off while I was too high in the air and going too fast, and I got hurt. So try not to do that. It's all right though. It's you know, I got a little bit hurt. I didn't. It wasn't. Oops. Wasn't a devastating crash or anything. So I'm still trying to dig more down than forwards because I was still getting rock, and I want to get just iron ore if at all possible.
Inventory full.
Okay, that is just iron ore. I don't know what happened there. Seemed like I picked up really fast. Might be a really dense clump of iron ore. If the ore is super dense, sometimes a small rock, like a physically small piece, will actually contain a lot of ore. So there is that occasionally as well. I haven't found cobalt yet. Cobalt is definitely one that I'm going to need. So I'm going to need some cobalt ore at some point. But we'll also cross that bridge when we come to it. And back again. Just keep doing this slowly but surely. Eventually you will have a full refinery. Actually probably not, because I think I'm going to have to go looking for that cobalt. From the sound of my voice when I land, I think I'm a female space engineer model. I think it's random which one you get. I don't think you can change it. I think it just gives you one, and that's who you are when you start the game. I might be wrong about that, but I don't remember choosing female anywhere. Maybe I did. Maybe it was ages ago, and I've just never ever changed. Possibly when they first initialized having a female model and a male model, I might have had a look at the female model and then just forgot how to change it back and never changed it back. Doesn't really bother me. You never really see yourself anyway, so. Alright, I'm getting pretty low on hydrogen. So what I might do is I might go get some ice after this one. Yeah, 50%. I'm going to go get some ice after this lot. Because there's only so much ice left in this. Now you don't actually need that much, so I'm not going to fill up on ice. I'm just going to grab a bit of ice. A bit of ice. So I'm going to head over there. Careful not to slam into the trees, I say as I nearly slam into the trees. But yeah, the idea was there. See, that looks like a splotch as well, but I don't think it is. Yeah, see, that's just a fold in the ground with a bit of a terrain change, random terrain change. But it looked like a splotch. So you can be fooled by stuff like that as well. Whereas this here, that's the splotches that you're looking for. See, they're just greyish bits on the yellow. Right, now the ice is over there, so I want to get closer first. And see where it stops getting closer and starts going away. That's about it there. And I want to go in at an angle. Now, it's not the end of the world if you have to dig a vertical shaft, and that's going to be the best way to do it. You can always get out with your jetpack, so long as you still have hydrogen, which is why it's essential that you have a bottle of hydrogen with you at all times. Sometimes I will make a second hydrogen bottle and have 2 bottles of hydrogen with me, especially if I'm going to be going really far away from base. And if I'm going to do something like have a vehicle, I might have a vehicle with an O2H2 generator on it and have some ice in that where I can refill my bottles, and then I can fly really far away from base with the vehicle and then still fly far away from the vehicle with my jetpack, knowing that I can recharge my hydrogen if I need to. Now, there are large lakes on the planet, and they are frozen lakes, and the surface of the lake is entirely ice. So if you're lucky and you find one of those, well, you can just use that. But this is what ice looks like. Relatively simple ice look. Yeah, that's vertical. I'm not walking out of here. I have to fly out of here. But that's what I had to do. So, come on. Oh, there we go. Still a bit of stone in here. Try to get more ice than stone. And I don't want to go overboard either. You don't go through ice as fast as you'd think. That's probably enough, right? So now I need to fly out of here, which is going to be hard. Well, hardish. And there we go. Now I can head home. Put this in my O2H2 generator on the remains of my respawn pod. Make sure I then also refill my hydrogen bottle again. And then we can go back to filling up on iron ore and constructing this large full-size refinery. Yep, now I don't have enough space for the actual bottle and all this ice, so I got too much ice. I was trying not to do that, but oh well, I got too much ice by that much. That's cool, it happens, whatever. Right. Another 200 plates. Still need close to another 300 plates. So probably another two trips just to get enough iron for the plates. And then I've still got to build all the other things. So things like the grills, metal grills, they're pretty expensive iron-wise as well. So you can expect them to cost quite a bit in iron ore. And I'm pretty sure they need cobalt too. Right, I'm pretty deep in the iron now. So I might now be able to start sort of digging out sideways as well as down. And so widening this sort of cavern that I'm digging in rather than just continuously digging deeper and deeper into the ground. That'll probably actually be enough.
Inventory full.
I thought so. Now, of course, I don't know where the way out is. There it is. Yeah, this game would be a lot harder without the lights, obviously. But it would be pitch black down there. Now, you can save energy by turning your lights off every time you come out into the sunshine, etc., etc., but you could also just skip it. Like, you don't really need it. Now, another thing one can do, and a lot of people would have done, is rather than go straight from small refinery to big refinery, their next step would have been a battery. And that's a fine choice. There's nothing wrong with that. I didn't do that this time, but there's nothing wrong with building a battery as the next item. Probably on this side. I just want to put a battery in. You could do that if it sort of suits your needs. I think I'm going to be alright with wind power and during the day solar power. We'll do the battery after we do the refinery, let's say, just to demonstrate the principle. But it's the same as, you know, building anything else. You just get the resources, everything that you need, put it all in place, and then build the thing with the components as required. So what advantages does the large refinery have over the regular refinery? Well, first of all, it has a bigger inventory space, so you can fit more ore in it, and it can fit more ingots in it, which it can hold ahead of the assembler. Now, the other thing that it has space
Inventory
for
full.
modules on it. What are modules? Well, there are 3 different kinds of modules. There are efficiency modules, which means it'll get more actual ore. It'll get more ingots out of ore. There's power efficiency modules, which means it'll take less electricity to run. And there's speed efficiency modules, which means it'll convert faster. I tend to fill the whole thing up with ore efficiency modules, so that for each amount of ore I get more actual ingots. But you can mix and match to a fair extent. I'll have to actually finish it to actually show you those bits, but that shouldn't take me that much longer. We'll see. Alright, so I need at least 45... Let's see. About 40 construction components, so let's add that to the list. Oh, there they are. I need 20 large steel tubes. I've got 4, but let's just make 20. I need 20 metal grids. I need 20 computers. I don't think that's enough steel plates yet. I think I still need a few more steel plates. Yeah, about almost another 100 steel plates. So we'll add that to the end of the list. Right. Now looking in there, you can see I need cobalt, I need silicon. I do have a lot of silicon ready, and I think I've got a fair bit of nickel. I don't know whether I've got enough nickel. No, I've got enough nickel. There's 110 sitting there. And I need 33. But cobalt, I've got no cobalt, so I've got to go looking for cobalt. So, I'm going to use this to recharge and redo my health. It's a shame Goodbot isn't still asking me to recharge my health, because now that tutorial counts as not being done, because he's not actually asking for it. I'm going to refill my hydrogen bottle again. I have to take the ice out, put the hydrogen bottle in, put the ice back in, take the ice back out, take the hydrogen bottle out, put the ice back in. Right. So now I need to go up high, and I need to look for more splotches. It's going to be a bit more difficult in this foggy, rainy weather. So I'm going to look in a different direction and see if I can find some more splotches, and hope I can find some cobalt. That looks like splotches. Yep, that's some splotchy ground right there. Now, I didn't mark that nickel magnesium that I found before. I found another iron, cobalt, and nickel. Ideal. Sometimes it's a good idea to mark splotches, even if you've already got access to that resource. Oops, I'm stepping on my mouse cable. Even if you've already got access to that resource, simply so that you don't accidentally go there again, looking for resources. Go, oh, there's a splotch that I haven't explored, and it's one that you have explored, you just didn't mark it. But in this case, we will mark it. New from current position, it was iron, nickel, and cobalt, I think. And the cobalt is actually all that I want from here. Unless this is actually closer than that iron, we'll check later. Right, so I sort of want to get somewhere where I can get at an angle, so I can dig towards the cobalt at an angle. The cobalt's just decided to change position on me. Oh, screw it. Maybe I'll just dig straight down, hey? Yep, keeps deciding to change position. That's alright. We'll dig down at this angle and we'll readjust when we get further into the ground. See what happens. Oh, I didn't change the color of this one. Should have changed the color. Well, there's iron. But I'm not looking for iron. I'm here for cobalt, so we'll just keep going straight through. Ignore it. So I'm digging down, and every now and again I take like half a step forwards. Sorry if I'm screaming as well. The actual game sound is super loud in my ears. It's not as bad in yours because I've adjusted the balance. And there's the cobalt. This beautiful blue stuff. Right, so I want a pretty big inventory of this. Still getting a lot of stone, so I want to go deeper down as well. Oh, inventory is not full. Must be close though.
Inventory full.
Is this shallow enough for me to actually climb out without jetpack? It is. Excellent. Alright, so we'll run up here. Try to sort of stand on the slope so the rock rolls away. Throw the stone out, and then go back down for some more cobalt.
Inventory full.
There we are. We should have full inventory of cobalt now. And that should actually be enough, because we don't need much. So this is 1.2 k's away. How far away is that iron? This is actually closer than the other iron deposit. Yeah, 1.5, 1.28. Let's change the color on that one as well. Iron, nickel, cobalt. The cobalt's the more important one. Let's go with purple. Increase the saturation on that. There we go, we'll be able to find that. So it'll be actually easier to go there for the iron next time as well. So let's see, got all that, got all that, got all that, some of that. So everything but the metal grids, and the metal grids should be building now. Because, no, we're actually out of iron as well. So I need iron, I need nickel, but I mean there is actually enough nickel. It's just still sitting in the refinery, it hasn't been passed to the assembler. But it will be soon. Right, so the iron is easier to get to there. Will mean I'll probably have to dig another hole. Now we did pass the iron on the way down to the cobalt, so I could just dig a sort of side tunnel and go into the iron from there. So there it is. So what I'll do is from here, right click again, I'm not left clicking yet. And then I want to angle down just a little bit so that I've got a base for it to fall into. And then move back here, I'll just start digging out the iron ore. Hopefully I won't get too much stone in this, but I'll probably get some.
Inventory full.
But yeah, now I can kill two birds with one stone, and this is closer than the other iron pocket. I will still leave, of course, that iron pocket, because like I said, sometimes it's good to leave the GPS coordinate there so that you know not to search that coordinate again for a resource.
Inventory
Because you've got it
full.
elsewhere. Did I just pick up more stone? No, I didn't. That's pure iron. Alright, whoops. Whoa, where am I? There we are. Right, a little bit closer to home. A little bit less hydrogen required to get here via thrusters. Now the refinery is still working through that cobalt. It's very slow at working through something like cobalt. So we'll actually put the iron in position 1 so that it does iron. Because otherwise, if I put them in the other order, it'll just sit there and keep producing cobalt and produce no iron. See? It'll just keep producing cobalt. So swap them, make it actually produce the iron, and then we will actually get the 20 that we need. Seven, you say? And there we are. So what I want to do now is I actually want to go into the control panel and find my basic refinery and toggle the block off. Because I've got a full-size refinery now. Now that uses a lot more electricity, yes. But it is a better actual refinery. So we'll do that. We'll move all of these into the basic assembler for now. Then I'm actually going to destroy this. Now the big problem with doing that is that this large refinery will no longer pass to the basic assembler because there's a big gap here. But that's alright. So these are the actual module slots, and I should have modules already have access to modules? I do. So as I said, there's a speed module, a yield module, and a power efficiency module. So in the case of the refinery, I only use yield modules, but you can mix and match as you want. And they look like this, and they fit onto these slots. And you can change the orientation of them if you want. I tend to do them like that, and just put 4 on. You can put them half on, and they will be half as effective. So that is something that you can do, but I don't want to do that right now. Right now, what I want to do is place 1 block here, and then begin construction of a full-size, full-work assembler, which is there. That's a proper assembler, not a half assembler like before. So it has 4 slots, 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom, and 2 on the sides. So you want that to push up against the refinery's entries, thusly. Now I will have to manually move ingots from the large refinery into the basic assembler to make the components that I don't have to make this. So I'm going to need another, call it 50 steel plates, so I can reach it through the cargo container, and I will, okay, there's the iron ore, take the iron ore out, put it in the basic assembler. I've got about 20 there, so make me another 30 steel plates. Probably could use those. Maybe I need those, maybe I don't know. Yep, that's all the steel plates. I've got all the motors I need. I need another, I've got 25, so 55 construction components. So let's just make 60, because it's easier. I need 10 displays. How many metal grids was it? 10 metal grids and a hell of a lot of computers. So 10 displays, 10 metal grids, and 100 and something metal computers. We'll just make 200 for now. Don't have enough cobalt, so I'll take this cobalt. Take this cobalt and put it in the basic assembler. Yep, now we've got enough for everything, so everything will finish constructing on its own. So we can just take all of this stuff as it becomes available. We're going to be waiting on computers for a little while. And then when that's done, I can disassemble the assembler, basic assembler, because I won't need that either. And then I'll do everything through this refinery and that. So this also has module slots on it, 2 of them. 2 on this side and 2 on that side. The yield doesn't do anything to that. Only speed and power efficiency works on the assembler. It doesn't have the same sort of... it doesn't work in the same way in regards to modules. The yield module only works on the refinery. Need about another 50 something. Must be pretty close. There we go. And now that would have unlocked new blocks. So like I said, 2 modules there. Oh, I forgot. It's got half modules there as well. So there's 1 module on the top too. So if you actually line that up correctly, you can kind of overlap it with other things and use those that one single one. But I tend to just drop that one and let that one go. Right. That is everything the basic assembler needs to do. Take everything out of it and deconstruct it. My inventory is full, so I will dump a lot of this stuff into this cargo container. All of it, in fact. And the inventories of the other things, like the this assembler, will pull things from the small cargo container that needs it. Right, that's going to be a nice spot. I will probably put the medical facility in there eventually. So what I will do is I'll come over here. I'm going to put another block here, just as a base for now. And then right here, I'm going to put my first full-size battery. So let's find batteries. There's the battery. Right. One size for the base. If I choose the small battery, see, it doesn't lock on because it's not meant for this. Whereas if I take it over here, yeah, I can put a small battery on that. But you can't put one on a big base. Pressing 6 again does nothing because small battery ship is not available for a large ship. So go back in, go to progression, go down here, put the battery in. There is only one battery size, but if I press 6 again, so there is this, which is the ship battery, large battery. This is the large battery for this ship. See, it sticks to it on the small size thing. And that's one there. So that is the large battery on that. This is the large battery for this. Right, I kind of want it to be the right way up, so I'm going to try and make it the right way up. I'm not actually sure which way is the right way up. Is it that way? Is it that way? I think it's that way. Right, so you'll see it needs 80 power cells. I still need another 25 computers and another 45 steel plates. There's some more steel plates. There's a whole crap load of computers. Now, power cells. I don't have any power cells. I still need more steel plates, I think. Let's just start making me another 20 steel plates while I wait. Yeah, it was about another 20 steel plates. So power cells. What do we need for power cells? Production. Power cells, silicon wafers, and nickel ingots. So I don't think I've got much in the way of nickel. And it needs 80 of them, so 80. So I've got some. I don't have enough. I'm going to run out of either silicon or nickel. I'm not sure which just yet. Probably nickel. Let's just put all of it in the assembler so I can see. Oh no, I've got enough. So I'll be able to make a full 80 without actually having to go and get anything else. Which means now, with the battery, whatever excess power that these produce, as well as this solar panel is currently 20% efficient, 50% efficient, because of how much sun it's catching and the angle of the sun. Whatever excess power is produced can be stored in the battery to, therefore, so you've got that available for use when there's no wind and when there's no sun. I don't think there's ever no wind, so I don't think that'll ever happen. But a fully charged battery, good idea. It's always nice to have a battery attached to your base just in case. Something could go wrong. You could have a collapse and perhaps your... Yeah, now these weigh a lot, so I can only carry this many at a time. Oops. 25 at a time, in fact. If there's a structural collapse and I lose my wind turbines, the battery will kick in and I will still be able to recharge my suit, run my refinery, run my assembler, etc., etc. So yeah, you really do want to do that. Right, nearly there. 10 more. So we'll wait for this to finish and get all 10. And there we are. I've now built a battery, so now I've unlocked new blocks as well. So yeah, we'll take this to 100% hit points, and you'll see the green light because the battery has a little bit of power in it, and it is currently charging. So, max required input, That's the maximum amount it can take inwards, the maximum amount it can take outwards. It can store 3 megawatt hours. It's currently inputting 572 and outputting 562. So it's storing only a little bit, fully recharged in 20 hours. So 20 hours it's going to take. Is that negative 20 hours? Yeah. So it's never going to be fully recharged is what I think this thing is saying. It's just not going to get there. And that's because the wind turbine, there's just not enough power being produced from these three things producing power to actually fully charge that while both the assembler and the refinery is running. I could turn them off. So for example, if I turn the refinery off and look at the battery, now it'll be fully recharged in 5 hours because it's only outputting 1 kilowatt and it's getting 560-ish kilowatts. Now that's steadily dropping because the sun is steadily falling towards the horizon and the solar panel is getting steadily less efficient. They should remain the same for the entire time. Right. So the next thing we're going to need is we're going to need a lot more of those. I am going to turn the refinery back on because I only wanted it off in the meantime just because. I'm going to need a lot more of those, and I'm going to want to put a medical room here in the gap that I left from the where I deconstructed the basic assembler and the basic refinery. Going to need more iron, so I'm going to have to go and get that. Ooh. Going to need more charge as well. I'm going to take that from the ship rather than from my base. I don't actually have any way to charge at my base yet. Like I said in the last episode, you can put a chair down, a seat down, and sit in the seat, and that will recharge you. But I'm going to build a medical room, which is a far preferable method because it also counts as a respawn point. So I won't bother building a chair that I can sit in the meantime. I'll just keep using the survival pod until I've got the medical room. Once I've got a medical room, I can actually take that survival pod apart. I probably won't do it until I get a hydrogen generator as well, because otherwise I'm going to have to walk. Nobody likes walking.
Inventory full.
Yep, I should have a lot of stone in my inventory there, so I'm going to go up and throw the stone away. Yeah, not heaps, but, you know, I've got some stone there that I don't need.
Inventory full.
Fill up on iron ore. Oh, come on. Climb. There we go. Then fly home. Not too fast or you'll crash and get hurt. Right, we'll dump that straight into the refinery because I want the iron more than I want anything else at the moment. Now you'll notice that this produces everything at a much faster rate. I'm going to need interior plates because I'm pretty sure that's what the medical room is built out of. So, I mean, there it is, but let's find it in the progression chart. Here it is off the basic assembler. So, interior turret, the spotlight, and the medical room. So, put that here. Right there. That's the right way up and everything. Whoops. Right. Needs a lot of interior plates. A total of 240. I've got 10, so I need another 230 interior plates. So let's queue that up. 230, 230. Needs 80 construction components. I've got 15. So we'll add that to it, which means I still need another 65. Is that all? 65? There's no more further up? No, 65. So 65. 60 metal grids. 20 small steel tubes. I've got 2. So I'm going to need another 18. Let's just make 20. It's easier. 5 large steel tubes. I've got none of those. No, I've got 4 of those, so I only need 1. So yeah, we'll just make 1 of those because that'll actually be all 5. Need 10 displays. I've got 4. We'll make 10 of them. That's all right. 10 computers. I think I've got 10 computers. Yep, got more than 10 computers. And then 15 medical components. Now those are kind of expensive. There they are. Oh, they're not that expensive. I was going to say, don't they need silver? There it is, silver. Now, I don't think I've found silver yet. So I'm going to press H so that I can see everything, fully visible. So I've got silicon, iron, I've got iron, nickel, cobalt, magnesium, nickel, ice, silicon. Yeah, I haven't seen silver yet, so I'm going to have to go looking for silver. So I'm going to have to recharge this again. Let's try this way. And we'll look for splotches. Which again, due to the nature of the angle of the sun at the moment, is actually going to be a little bit hard. That looks splotchy. Is that the splotchy that I'm looking for, or is that just trees? That's just trees rendering. Damn. Okay, that's not splotchy. That's splotchy. Is this the one I found before? Silicon, magnesium. Alright, yeah, this is silicon and magnesium. So I'm going to mark it because I don't want to accidentally find it again while looking for something else. So I'll make a new point, call it silicon, magnesium. I don't have to look at this one again, go back up into the sky, look for more splotches. Let's say there's some splotches, I think. Is that splotchy? No, it's not actually splotchy. That is, though. I think. No, that's also just trees. No, that is splotchy. That's splotchy right there. Silver, perfect. Right. Make a GPS coordinate, move from current position. Silver. Let's make it silver-ish. No, saturation should be 0, value should be as high as it can go. White is kind of as close as I'm going to get to silver, really. Right, now I want to kind of find a way to dig into it at a good angle. Let's go like this. Now silver is just grey, the ore, it's just kind of shinier than the rock. It's a little bit harder to differentiate than most ores. It's more obvious when you're in space and it's on on an asteroid that you find silver, but it's still relatively easy to find and differentiate on a planet. Sort of try and demonstrate momentarily when we get to it. It's shiny, basically. There's a difference between it and the rock around it. The rock isn't very shiny. It's a little tiny bit shiny, but not like silver ore is. There you go, that's silver ore. See, it's got these veins of sort of shininess in it. It's not actually a very good node. Might be a lot of rock in this. That's alright, we'll still dig it out. We'll grab some silver ore, make the medical components we need. I think it's extremely shallow. There's a lot of stone in that, so it must be a very shallow silver pocket. Where is it? Is it gone away? It's gone away. Looks like there's very little silver here. Good thing is you don't need that much silver over the course of the game.
Inventory full.
So I'll go and dump whatever stone I picked up, and I bet you it's a lot of it. Felt like a lot of it. It's probably more stone than silver. Yeah. More than double the amount. Turns into a big rock when you dump it all out as one big chunk. Ooh, damn. Let's pick up any of this that is silver, any of this that is silver, any of it that is rock, and we'll dump the rock out and then get the rest of the silver back. Alright, I'm just going to fly out because it's quicker than dealing with this slope. Dump that, go back down and try and get more silver. Where was it? Here. We sort of started going sideways here. Alright, let's try to avoid the stone and pick up the silver. Silver ore. Silver ore. Screw it, let's just pick up everything and we'll dump out whatever stone we actually pick up again. Yeah, silver nodes tend to be like this, except on asteroids where they are much more obviously just silver, or almost entirely just silver. But here on planets, yeah, expect there to be a lot of rock, a lot of stone in your silver node. You can find this similar with gold, but sometimes gold can be really good. You get a nice clean node that's just all gold. But yeah, you can also get a really dirty node, so to speak.
Inventory full.
Yep, really struggling to get enough silver together here.
Full.
I mean, a full inventory is better.
Inventory
It's
full.
actually silver ore. Like I said, you don't need that much in a regular game, but you do need a bit, and it would behoove me to have a full inventory of it rather than a whole bunch of stone.
Inventory full.
Oh, so close. Alright, I can fit the tiniest little bit more silver ore on me.
Inventory
The good
full.
thing is that's all silver ore. Alright. So that's it. So I might as well fly out. And then fly home. So 3 kilometers away from home was where the silver was. But hey, we got some silver, so that's alright. We'll be able to build our medical components and be able to have a respawn point. See, it immediately dumped it into the refinery, but it's still doing the cobalt first. So the refinery doesn't prioritize what the assembler needs, which I think is a bit dumb. In every other respect it works as you would hope it would work, but not in that one little respect where it doesn't prioritize things in the right order. I wish the refinery would prioritize, okay, you've got silver ore, you need silver, what's-his-face? You need silver ingots. Prioritize the silver ore. And it just doesn't do it. Right, now we don't have enough metal grids and we don't have enough metal tubes. So what is going on? We do not have enough nickel or cobalt. Should have enough metal tubes. There we go. Right, So nickel, a little more cobalt. Iron, nickel, cobalt. Do I get the nickel from here? I might as well. So I might go looking for the nickel here as well. Just because. Well, we'll see. I'm going to get a full inventory of cobalt first. And then we'll worry about the iron afterwards. I mean, the nickel afterwards. You will go through a lot of cobalt. I think that cobalt is used to make harder iron. I think that holds true in real life as well. When they do break, they sort of snap. They get to a point where they can't go any further and then they snap. But before they get to that point, they are super strong. I think I've got some rock in my inventory there, so I might have to dump that out. Yep, I do. Very little, but I did have some, so dump that out, get the little bit more cobalt that I can get.
Inventory full.
And then we can head back, dump this off, and then we either come back here for nickel, or there's that magnesium nickel one, which I think might be closer. I'm not really sure. We'll see when I'm at home which one's actually the closest source of nickel. Right. I don't think I've got enough iron either. Oh, I've got a whole bunch of cobalt ore, you silly person. Oh well. Alright. So what else am I missing? I don't have enough iron. I definitely have enough cobalt. Definitely going to need nickel, so 1.12, 1.28. That one is closer, just barely. So we'll go there for the nickel. Yep, don't care about them at the moment. So I found this, but I never mined anything yet. So nickel is apparently there. So we'll try and get like sort of a good angle so that I'm not going into the ground straight down. I want to go in at an angle. Nickel, I think, is sort of a yellowish colour. That's it there. That's nickel. Now, gold is much yellower than that. This is sort of a cream yellow. But yeah, this is nickel. Seems like a relatively thick node as well, so... should be able to avoid getting too much rock and just get pure nickel, one would hope.
Inventory full.
Let's just check. Yep, no stone in that whatsoever, just pure nickel. Right, head home. Like I said, I'm going to need some more iron, so we'll have to go and get some iron as well. So let's start at refining some of that because it's going to need it. And we'll head over here and we'll get some iron. I have no idea if I have enough hydrogen left. I do. I was going to say, it's been a while since I've recharged my hydrogen. I might have to do that soon. Right, go down this cobalt hole, and here is the iron section.
full.
Pretty good. I think there's no rock in that. Excellent. Yep, perfect. Fly out. Where is home? Home is this way. We'll head home. Remember to recharge my thing as well now. My hydrogen, because I've used quite a bit of hydrogen, I'm pretty sure. No idea how much I have left. You don't want to be at high altitude and run out of hydrogen because you'll die. 39, so I wasn't like completely out of it. Oh, I haven't got any space. So first let's dump the iron off. Put it at the front of the queue. Right, so I need to take the ice out, put my thing in, put the ice back in, refill my hydrogen canister. There we go. Alright, let's see what happened. Okay, it finished that, and it's busy doing the medical components. Medical components are also kind of heavy, but not as heavy as metal grids. Metal grids are like super heavy. Alright, what's holding this up? Need more nickel and iron and silver. It's currently doing the nickel. Or is it just transferring the nickel from the... yeah, it is. That iron processed really fast. Anyway. Yeah, so we're nearly there. We'll have a medical base in a moment. And that will be the basis of a base. It'll be a respawn point, so when we respawn we'll be able to select, so long as it has power. That's another reason why the battery is important. So long as there's enough power to power the medical facility, we'll be able to respawn at this medical facility. The medical facility must be powered to be a valid respawn point. If it's not powered, it's not a valid respawn point. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know how to use the build planner. There's all these other features that supposedly make the game easier, and I don't know how most of them work. At the moment, I still do a lot of things manually, so I still look at the recipe and go, okay, I need this, 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 and this, and then I queue it up in the assembler. You can actually go into the assembler and go, I want to build a seat, and click the passenger seat, and it will queue up all the components you need to build that passenger seat. It'll just do it. Pepper, I didn't even know you were sitting there. Are you still sitting here from before? Or have you just come back? Just a random dog at my feet. You can also build tools. Wow. Why can't I build a proficient hand drill already? Yeah. I'm going to build one. Don't necessarily need it now, but I'm going to build one because it's better than the one I've got. So you can get better tools as well. So now I also need to put that on my quick bar, which I do by going G, character tools, put that there. And yeah, that'll actually work better than the previous one that I had. I don't know how much better, but it'll work better. Now the other thing you can do is I can now also go into disassembly, look at the inventory. Oh, let's move it to the inventory of the assembler. Disassemble that drill and then go back into assembly. It doesn't actually have anything to assemble because we are now finished. Functional medical room. I can respawn here. I can also recharge here. And see how much quicker it recharges as well? Right. Now, no medical room is going to be completely functional without a connection to the rest of these systems, namely this cargo container, and access to our oxygen hydrogen generator. So we'll need to build one of those. And that's down here pretty close to the bottom. There it is, O2H2 generator. So I'm going to put that here. Flat square on top of the medical bay. So I need steel plate to build it, so let me grab some steel plate so I can get the blueprint down. think that was the right way up. If not, I can always deconstruct it afterwards. Right. So what do we need? 110, 120. I've got 52. So I need another 70-ish steel plates. I need only 5 construction components. Don't I have that? No, I don't. Alright, well, we'll make 10 construction components. Need 2 large steel tubes. Make just the 2 of those. I need 4 motors. Do I have motors? I do have motors. And 5 computers. I think I've got the computers as well. There we are. So now, the medical room can now also recharge hydrogen and oxygen. So long as I put ice in that. So let's go here. We'll get... How do you get half the ice? Oh, like that. You know what? All the ice. I don't need any. I don't need it to be in here anymore. I can basically take that apart now. Right, so put all the ice in there. Put my hydrogen bottle in there. Put my oxygen bottle in there. Take them out again. See, and now it recharges my hydrogen as well. Now, it won't automatically recharge my hydrogen bottle. To do that, I need to actually put it in the inventory. And this inventory is not connected to all the other inventories. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to build one more cargo container in there. And that will finish it off. That will give it an actual connection to everything else. So we go in here and we find... No, that's an interior wall. Where is it? Cargo container? There we are. Cargo container. That one. Put another cargo container in. Make sure it's the right way up. I need interior plate to build that. I do have... No, I don't have any of those. Alright, just give me 10 for now, so I've got enough to actually place the blueprint. It's too damn high up. I'm going to have to fly up there. Can I reach? I can reach. Good. Alright, so I need another... Well, I just made 10, so I should place that. Another 30 interior plates. You know what? Let's do it properly. Let's go here, large blocks. Find a small cargo container. There it is. Click that. And it'll just make everything for me. I don't need all of it. Some of it I already had, but oh well. It's going to make some excess. Won't be too much excess. Won't be so much excess that it matters. Wow. There's quite a lot of construction components. And there we go. Now, if I put my hydrogen bottle in here, it'll immediately disappear. Or at least I thought it would. It normally disappears and goes straight to the O2H2 generator. Alright, I'll tell you what, let's fly. I don't make my hydrogen run out faster. You have to fly at speed to make your hydrogen run out faster. So let's... Whoa, 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 I'm going to get hurt. Alright. I want to use up some of my hydrogen bottle to demonstrate this principle. Alright, refills at 20%, I think. So, there we go. I've now used some of my hydrogen bottle. So if I come here and land again, and I put my hydrogen bottle in this, it goes straight to the O2H2 generator's inventory, refills, and then I can pick up the full one again. And like I said, I can refill everything from here because it's all interconnected now. And that is a fully functioning base at which one can respawn. And I think that's actually a good stopping point. I did want to sort of start getting towards vehicles, but I also want to do the modules. So I think next time we'll come back, we'll do the modules. We'll probably expand the power, add more wind turbines, maybe some more solar panels hanging off the backside here, maybe another battery or two. Yeah, we'll definitely increase the yield modules on that. We'll do probably power modules on the assembler is the most appropriate one to put on that. And we'll get to building vehicles, flying vehicle in fact, in the next episode. But for now, that is going to do it. So I do hope you enjoyed this video. It does what it says on the box. It shows you how to find ore on planets. That's the first thing I did. But beyond that, of course, it shows you a few more things. Namely, you know, how to go from a basic assembler and basic refinery to the full assembler and full refinery. Using your ability to find ores. How to provide enough power, battery, how to sort of make sure that everything is interconnected so that you can use the inventories as an interconnected series of inventories. So you can place things in one container and have them appear in the other containers where they are needed. Yeah, hopefully that gives you some better idea of how to sort of get started in Space Engineers on a planet. And next episode will work towards making it easier to collect ores by having a large vehicle that you can ferry ores backwards and forwards with. We might even go so far as to build an actual driller, which is much harder, takes a bit longer to actually produce one, requires a lot of energy to run one, so you're definitely going to have to be able to produce large amounts of power. So we're going to need lots of wind turbines, lots of solar panels, a way to plug it into the base so that the base can actually provide it with, like, charge its batteries as well as the base's own batteries. And we will be doing all of that in the next episode. So thank you very much for watching, guys. If you did like this video, hit that like button. If you'd like to see more of my content, hit that subscribe button. Makes it nice and easy to find everything on my channel all in one place. And definitely hit that notification bell because it is random when I go live and when I upload videos. I have a weird schedule, so I cannot schedule when I'm going to go live. It just sort of happens when I've got space, time to do it. So I can't tell you ahead of time, but if you really want to catch a live show, click the notification bell and then at least it'll let you know when I've gone live. And if you've got spare time, you can jump in and join me. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.